Hey there, Ed McCormack here, founder of the crypto education platform Dchained. Today's video, we're going to be talking about a cryptocurrency and a blockchain that supports it that I can't believe we have not talked more about, because it's not only been one of the leading DeFi platforms in 2021, but it's also been one of the best performing cryptocurrencies, getting investors almost 4,000% returns. If you're asking yourself, what could we possibly be talking about? Look no further than Terra. And what we're going to do in this video is tell you more about what Terra is, how it's setting up to get some, even further gains, and how you can get your hands on it. And we're going to get started right now. So let's start off this video by talking about what Terra is. And basically, it's a blockchain that was created to help produce new types of stablecoins that can hold their value much better than what exists today. Now, you might ask, why do we need a new stablecoin? And the fact is we have a lot of them. There's many versions and flavors of stablecoins out there. And one of the main commonalities that they all have is that, for the most part, they suck at holding value. Most of them use different types of algorithms and what's called pegs, so the way that it's tied to national currencies. And the fact is whether you're tying it to the US dollar, the consumer price index, or a basket of commodities, most of the most popular stablecoins today just simply are ineffective. And that's where Luna has really stepped up and introduced not only its version of stablecoins, where it changes the way that it's algorithmically pegged to these national currencies, but it also uses its own native token as a means of stabilizing supply and demand. So think of this. When you look at the Terra blockchain, one of the most popular coins is UST, which is the Terra US dollar. And when there is an over demand for UST, what the blockchain will do is it will take some of its Luna, its native token, which, by the way, has a hard cap of roughly 993 million. It will take $1 worth of Luna and buy $1 of UST. So that, in effect, what happens is that it is increasing the supply of UST and decreasing the supply of Luna, in effect creating a deflationary mechanism. And if you are a Luna token holder, you should be thrilled by this news, because what is the biggest thing that most tokens look for? It's a listing on a big name exchange, and that is going to kick off what some of the big developments are. So let's talk about what just hit within the last week, which is that Coinbase, the largest exchange here in the US, actually decided to list UST, meaning investors can start buying UST freely. Now, while you might not be able to buy Luna directly, and I'll talk more at the end of this video how you can, what you should know is that all of this demand now for UST, in effect, is spurring Luna's blockchain to have to buy more and more and more, while burning an ever-increasing amount of Luna. So this is now creating even greater deflationary forces on the overall token. And if you're a Luna holder, you're having this blockchain essentially be a buyer that just has an insatiable appetite for your token, which is great. The second big update that you should be aware of is this new update that they introduced called Columbus 5. Again, I don't make up the names. I can just tell you what they're doing. And what this update does is that it's actually now moving more fees from its trading platform called Anchor. I'll talk about that in a moment. And it's actually moving those fees exclusively now over to people that are staking Luna, so that if you're a holder and you decide to actually stake it on its blockchain, you're getting incentivized now with additional fees. So your return on investment continues to climb even further. aside from the fact that with this new update, Luna is now interoperable, meaning that UST, which just became available on Coinbase, is positioned to now become the default stablecoin for Cosmos, which is known as Atom, as well as other big name blockchains that are competing for their space at the table for some of the biggest blockchains in the crypto market. Which brings us to our third major update, which is when you look at the version of DeFi that exists on Terra today, there's a platform called Anchor. And Anchor offers the typical lending and borrowing functionality that you would come to expect for any DeFi platform. But what's exciting is that Anchor just passed $2 billion in total value locked. Now, why that's exciting is that not only are you seeing more people putting their money onto their platform, but it also, by nature, spurs demand for UST. So you could see that we are creating a bit of a vicious cycle where the more demand for UST, the more Luna that's burned. And that's why when you look at some of the biggest names in the crypto market, all of them are loading up on Luna and ultimately starting to look at ways that they can invest on some of the DeFi platforms that are being built on Luna, just like Anchor, which let's talk about how you can now do that. So if you're looking to buy Luna or Anchor, look no further than KuCoin or crypto.com. They both make it super easy to buy. If you're a US citizen, it's eligible. You can sign up today and you could purchase it very simply with Ethereum, Bitcoin. If you transfer into KuCoin from Coinbase, you can ultimately use any of those currencies that are available on Coinbase. But in effect, what you're doing is you're creating an opportunity to buy the actual core asset. So not just UST, but the actual Luna itself. So that when the day comes, when Coinbase or Gemini or Kraken open their doors to Luna itself, not just its synthetic version, you're going to see this explode. And that's why we take the time in these videos to walk you through why it makes sense to spend the 5 minutes, learn about what this is, how to get your hands on it, because by the time it becomes available to the masses, the appreciation has already hit. And if you're not buying before the masses get their hands on it, you're missing out on some big profits. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like it, subscribe to this channel, and of course, tell your friends and family. We're always looking to grow the Dchained community. So until next time, happy and safe investing. I'll speak with you soon.